Hey, profit takers. Welcome back. Happy New Year. All right. So I know it's been a minute, but I'm here and I'm excited and looking to see what we have coming up for Friday, which is going to be non farm payroll and, the kickoff to this. And I think this is technically the first week of the year. Last week, was week 4 into week 1. I really don't know how to count that, but I'm just making note that I'm just using this week as the first week. I don't know if you guys know, then let me know. If last week was the first week and that's how you count it, let me know. I was really looking forward to having a full week of trading as opposed to the last 3 weeks. We've been having 4 days of trading, or 3.5 if you count the days that the market was only open half of the day. And here we are with a whole full day, with the markets closed for the futures. So nonetheless, I'm looking at the DJ or the YM, right? Whichever one you call it, in whichever market you're trading, whether it's Forex or futures, the pattern is the same. And I'm pretty sure the cycle is the same. So we had as of right now, as I'm looking at the dashboard, I can see that, it's 2 peaks high, right? As we can see here on Monday, we had a peak high, and this was a higher high, right? The beginning of the week. And it was also in breakout as well. And when the market is in breakout, it's either going to continue with the breakout or it's going to fail. And this was 3 days in, Thursday being the low. So we had our day 1, day 2, and day 3 for Monday. So this was a perfect trade, reversal trade to take. And this didn't happen until noon. So this, took the whole day. And I'm still kind of wondering what this new timing cycle is going to be for January, because it's a bit off still. I mean, we do have our, straight up 9 o'clock trades. And then we have, well, actually, it's a 10 o'clock, but 9 o'clock for me, which is the third hour. I guess we just call it the third hour. And the third hour of the market is when the 4-hour candle opens, right? So that means all the time frames are in the market. Okay, so if you were looking at this was definitely on my radar, because again, it was in breakout, as you can see, and so it had broken not only through the previous day high, it also broke the previous week high, right? And then it established the new high of the week. It's like a day one runner. I guess you would call this a day. I don't know if you call this a day one runner, but I've heard it being, once it breaks that level, this will then establish the high and low for the week, right? And it did. It established the high for the week. And then on Tuesday, market closes inside and, pumps back up, right? So whether or not you are taking this trade in the earlier sessions or not, you have the opportunity to take these trades. Now, it did pump up back into the breakout level, and the market, the indicator showed this as a reset, right? It pumped back into the breakout level of Monday's area. And again, this is another, this on my radar, okay, because that's what it did. It's still above that level, pumped right into that level. So now we're looking for this thing to reverse, and it reversed at 10 o'clock. So 1500 on this particular broker is 10 o'clock. So that's within the that's the 4th hour, basically. So, and then it closed in breakout short, and I'd like to annotate that with my little green box, okay? And it was also a first red day. I considered it a first red day. We did have the peak high here where it broke the previous day level, and let me do it this way since I already have this area marked. And we know that once these areas break, right? So you have a previous day high and a previous day low. Now this could be day one, right? And this is now day two, and then here we go with day three. So day three gave us a low hanging fruit trade that happened like at 5 o'clock in the morning or something, 5 or 6. I wasn't even awake for this, so obviously not very happy. Okay, that I missed this opportunity to take that short because I wasn't, even available for it. However, this is still showing me that, shorts are still in the market as of right now because we haven't had any other level broken. So until that happens, we did have this, break of the low here, okay, and close back inside. So this could be possibly another, looking for another, because shorts are still in the market, we're looking for another pump and then a dump, right? And then this level is interesting for me. This is a level that, once this thing breaks through this, then I think we're gonna keep going short. But if it doesn't break, then we're going long. But as of right now, shorts are still in. This could totally, of course, today markets are closed, so this would be an inside day, if you will. And we do have some lower lows in here. So I am just going to look for this. If it works out, and this is how I annotate my lower lows inside. I just do that. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to look for the YM when Friday opens. Non-farm is at 8:30. So hopefully 9:30 when the market opens, 9:45, 10 o'clock, we have a good first bounce trade or whatever. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. What else? I'm pretty sure. Okay, so if we look at the Russell, it shows 3 days and it has 2 days broken out already. So what does that look like? All right. All right, so on the Russell, it broke through on Friday, like it, had a break through the previous day high, but it closed back inside, and it looks like it opened, with a gap, a small gap there. And we were in breakout again, just like the YM. We were in breakout, guys, and we had the lower lows inside here. All right, I had previous day high, and then we had lower lows inside. Okay. All right, you see that? And we had the double top, and this also, not only did it break the previous day high level, it also broke the previous week high. So this was also a fantastic trade to wait for the short trade. And again, it happened at noon, and you always want to look for this lower low inside, guys, because that's going to let you know we're looking for, this pump and then a dump, right? We want to see that, right? And then Tuesday, this was the perfect trade on Tuesday. I was actually waiting for this trade on Tuesday. And this one, this is 14:30, so that's 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock for everybody else, 10 o'clock for me because I'm in Central Time. And that's when this trade actually just fell, right? But you could have gotten positioned in this area here. And as you can see, we were still in the breakout area. Okay, we're still in this breakout area, right? And we came back into the breakout level and we triggered the lows. So this was like a beautiful setup, triggered the lows, and that kind of gives us an idea that we're going to have a range expansion, and it's Tuesday range expansion day, so that fits perfectly. Okay. So it pumps back up into the area. We do not even trigger this level or the breakout level, right? The previous day high at all didn't even come all the way back to that area. It was just a beautiful setup. We had our lower low inside here as well. I'm on the 30-minute chart, by the way. Okay. I mean, you can look at this on the 15-minute, on 5-minute, whichever one you're trading, 1 minute, whatever. But you can see here that it triggered the previous day low. And I know I had written this somewhere. Yeah, there we go. I wrote this down on this section here. So we were in breakout, triggered the low, triggered this level. Actually, this one you can see it much better, right? It triggered this level, and boom, we were in. Okay, this one probably can see it a little better. It's probably 9:30. Yeah, so about 9:30, 9:45, you're in this trade. Okay, which is 10:30, 10:45. You're in this trade. We broke the low, right? Because remember, the lower low is a pump and then the dump. And then it did close in breakout, right? Shorts still in the market. Yesterday, we did see here that it broke the low again. Again, we're still short because the other side of the range hasn't been triggered, because it can often trigger this area and just break out slightly and then continue to fall. It hasn't done that yet. So we do have this range expansion here for Wednesday. So I'm looking to see what's going to happen on Friday. Again, it's also looking like we're possibly going to get an opportunity for this market to just dump, right? Because we have our sideways consolidation. We have our lower lows inside. It could do a pump and dump, right? When the market opens back up. That's what I'm looking for. We'll see if this level here is taken, right? Because it could push this level or trigger this level one more time, right? And then we can continue to short this market to this level here. This is a major level. And then we have 380R. Now 380R, obviously that is an average of the allotted the range for the pair. And I can often tell if a breakout is failing immediately if it comes into, let's say this thing was a one peak formation high, and before we know it, it has already 180R in the negative, if you will, going the opposite direction. Instead of going down, it's going up. So once it clears that 180R, then that's telling me that this market is the breakout is failing. Okay, so every day I do post in my locals and I do an analysis in there, and I just kind of jot in there what it is that I'm thinking is going to happen. And obviously it's just an opinion. Breakouts do work and they do fail all the time. So you just want to be mindful. And you could, if I think it's going to do a pump and dump and it does, and then immediately it does the dump and pump, then you had, whatever your trade strategy is in it pumps, you could be looking for the pump and I'm looking for the dump, right? Because you could, if I'm like saying, okay, should pump and dump, right? And you're basically in here earlier or whatever, and you take this pump trade, but I know that, this thing is in breakout and there's a high chance that this thing is going to fail. I'm looking for the short trade off of one of these major levels, all right? And on Wednesday, if you notice, there's not really any major level, right, other than the closing price. That's the level we're going to use, because that's where you can often take your entries from, is the closing price. So this one again was, we got this first red day on Tuesday, so we are looking for this thing to go short, and it just went short. Not in my window, right? That was just not in my timing window to go short. And this trade was pretty much over once it broke through the low, the previous day low. And then now it starts to auction back and forth. And then it did the final low hanging fruit trade here. Let's see, what time was that? Yeah, right at 9 o'clock. We didn't get much. Obviously, we didn't get much, because once it did that, you kind of know that this trade is pretty much over, right? Especially when it comes in so early, you know, in the morning prior to the New York Open. Once the market opens in New York, your chances of taking this trade short is a scalp, right? So once that happens, I'm looking to go long, right? I'm looking for the opportunity for the reversal, and it did not happen. You know, it wasn't a pretty reversal like you would expect it to be on a normal trading day. So that's why I'm thinking this one could most likely pump up. It could take out this level. It could trigger, you know, this previous day high, you know, and then it could fall, right? I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but, you know, based on what I'm seeing here, we did not get, you know, that pump here like I was expecting to pump. And instead, we got a sideways thing here. But we'll see, because this is the markets are pretty much closed now, right? So we'll just see what happens if we get the pump and dump on Friday. Okay, because that's what I'm looking for. But again, who knows? It could completely fail and go completely opposite, right? So that is my take on those two markets. Almost always very similar with the Russell and the YM, the DJ, right? So both have the major levels that are going to be coming up, right? I'm going to go back here to the YM so you can see. Just remember, they both have these major levels coming up, okay? Where price could get support, or if it breaks, then great. You know, I don't care what happens. I just, you know, want to be able to see a very clear pattern so I can get in on the trade. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close this video for now. Keep it short, and then we'll do another one on the ES, which is S&P and NQ. All right. I want to look at those two. Okay. And for those two also are very similar, 3 days of peak highs, and then they're in breakout for 2 days, right? So we'll take a look and see in more depth what that is. Okay. All right. See you in the next one.